What is up, guys? I'm back here with another college football prediction video. This is week 8 of college football, and the slate of games we have today are a little bit lighter. There are some really, really good games, but I feel like there's less headliners than there has been in the past few weeks, especially last week. So this is probably going to be a smaller video, a shorter video, but we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Miami at Louisville, and Miami has had the last two games that they played gift wrapped and handed to them by officiating. And I have a difficult time believing that this one will be any different, but I'm not really going to make my decision on who to pick based on what I think officiating might do. I think that Louisville is the better team, contrary to popular opinion, contrary to what a lot of the stats say. I know Miami's offensive numbers are good. I know that Cam Ward is a stud at quarterback and that Miami has a ton of talent across that team, but they needed the refs to help them win games against Cal and Virginia Tech, and those are not elite teams. They were down pretty big to those teams too. It wasn't like it was close for a while. And to be fair, Louisville has also struggled in their games against better opponents or even some inferior opponents. Heck, they played a close one with Virginia this past weekend. But I think that Louisville will be able to score on this Miami defense fairly consistently. I think the Miami secondary leaves a little bit to be desired, and I think Tyler Shuck and the receivers that Louisville has can definitely find explosive plays here. And on the flip side, I expect Miami to do a lot of scoring as well. Cam Ward is a very good passer, and that Louisville defense has some of the same issues that Miami's defense has. Miami has struggled in the first halves of games, so if Louisville can gain a lead early on and hold on to it, and weather that officiating storm, they should be able to come out of this game on top. I think Brom is a really great coach, and he has been used to beating top 5 teams at home as the underdog. He's actually 6-0 in that position, and I think he's going to be 7-0 after this one. It's a big game for both teams with major implications in the conference. Who can play all 4 quarters of the game, and who can step up making defensive stops, and will officiating be a factor in this game? We will find out whenever I do my preview video, and we'll find out what exactly happened. Next, I have Nebraska at Indiana. And believe it or not, Indiana is still undefeated, but they have their biggest test of the year so far in this game. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Indiana has never trailed in a game this season. One of only 2 teams to not trail at all this season, the other one being Army, which is also kind of crazy. Anyways, Indiana's offense has been nothing short of explosive. They've been putting up a bunch of points on all their opponents. They haven't played what many people expect to be quality opponents, but this is Indiana we're talking about. These are games that previous versions of them would either lose or be close in, and they're not in that position anymore. It seems like they made a slam dunk hire in Curt Cignetti, and that he brought in players from James Madison and elsewhere that are obviously ready for Big Ten play, that are really, really good. Curtis Rourke at quarterback has been fantastic so far, but he in that offense is going up against the top 15 defense here in Nebraska, so it's time to put that offense to the test. And it's a test that I think they can and will pass on picking Indiana in this game. I don't think they're going to score as frequently as they had the rest of the season, but I do think they're going to score enough to get the job done. That's partly because Indiana has a dominant defense themselves. In fact, they are the 6th best defense in the country by the numbers, which means they're even better than Nebraska's defense. And yes, quality of competition does play a factor, like I said, but it's not like Nebraska is known for offense. So even if Indiana is half as good as those numbers suggest, they will be plenty of capable of keeping Nebraska from scoring too much. And I think Indiana is just the better team, which feels crazy to say, but I think they're the better team. I think that they get this one, and I think I'm taking them in the game. I don't think so. I am taking them in this game, and I'm fairly confident about it, actually. And, yeah. So next game I have is Alabama at Tennessee. Both of these teams have shown vulnerabilities up to this point, but who is going to be able to capitalize in this game? Alabama's offense has had miscues, but they've also shown that they are plenty capable of scoring and being explosive. Tennessee's defense has been pretty dang good at limiting offenses. They are the 2nd best defense in the country, and last year they did a great job of keeping Milroe contained on the ground. Alabama has not been very successful running the ball in general this year, despite having some great running backs and a very mobile quarterback. On the flip side, though, Tennessee has struggled offensively. The pieces are there, and they definitely have the ability to be very dangerous and balanced on offense, but the execution has not been there this year. I do think that this is a spot where they may click into action. They may actually be able to click and find that spark of that offense. Alabama's defense has proven to be very vulnerable, so I think it's a good team to do that against. Alabama's defense is very young in the secondary, and we know that the ground game can work on them too. I think Dylan Sampson will find success, and I think that Nico will be able to have his best night yet, at least against power conference opponents. We know that he has the physical ability, but he has not put it together yet. So Tennessee gets this game at home, and that's a huge advantage for them. The environment is going to be insane. I've been to Tennessee games before, and they're crazy. This game is a huge deal for both these teams because it's may well be the game that ends the loser's playoff chances. And as a Georgia fan, that sounds good to me. Either way, one of my most hated teams has to lose here, so I love this game. Gets played every year, and both teams have a ton of talent and unrealized potential that could pop off in any of their games, but only one team can lose this game, and only one team can win this game. And I think that team that's going to lose is Alabama. I think Tennessee's going to win. I'm picking Tennessee. Next is LSU at Arkansas, and LSU just beat Ole Miss in a thriller at home, but now they have to go on the road and face an Arkansas team that may be inconsistent and unpredictable, but they are dang hungry. And it's a bad spot for LSU, I think, in between an emotional win and a trip to fight a dangerous Texas A&M team. Meanwhile, Arkansas just had their bye week, and they've had plenty of time to devote all of their attention to LSU. And I think Arkansas is going to win this one straight up. They may show inconsistency in the pass game, but I think they will be very successful on the ground. I think Taylor Green will find a ton of success himself on the ground, and I think that the pass plays will end up opening up. I think Arkansas's defense will take the ball away and win the turnover battle. I think the environment will affect the Tigers. And I think that LSU will be able to put up some scores on the board, but I think Arkansas's defense will be able to get plenty of stops here. I saw their defense play really, really well against Tennessee. And we also saw that Arkansas, like I said, they took down Tennessee at home, and I think they're prepared to do the same for LSU. But they have to play with more consistency and discipline than they have in some of their previous games this year. But yeah, I'm taking the Hogs here. Woo pig. And last and certainly not least is Georgia at Texas. Well, this game definitely terrifies me. Texas looks like a better team than Georgia, and the game is being played in Austin, so I begrudgingly think I have to pick Texas here. They look like the more vintage Georgia team than Georgia does. Not that Georgia doesn't have a chance in this game. I mean, any team with the level of talent that Georgia has will have a shot, but they need to play their best game here. In all fairness, Texas had not had the hardest road to get to here, so it is still possible that they have some major weaknesses that have yet to be exposed. And if there is a team that's going to be able to expose these weaknesses, it's probably Georgia. So we absolutely could win this game, and it wouldn't really surprise me if we win this game, but Texas is the number one defense in the country and one of the best offenses. They are physical. They can win this game in a variety of ways. And the main question for me is their secondary. Not that they have shown any weakness up to this point against the competition they have played, but they have not played against a half-decent quarterback or a half-decent passing attack the whole season, and they are going to have that here. Georgia will bring that. Carson Beck has looked a bit iffy, but he's by far the best quarterback they have played and probably the best quarterback they will play all season. Georgia has not been able to run the ball, though, very effectively, which has shocked me given the quality of players that I think we have in the backfield, but Texas is a hard team to run on anyway, so I don't really expect Georgia to have much success on the ground. And I think the path to victory for Georgia is through the air, or that's at least how they're going to be playing it. If they do get something going on the ground, I think that I like our chances. But the problem is Georgia's defense, while far from bad, is not what it used to be. I mean, this Texas team has what it takes to dominate the line of scrimmage, pass the ball effectively, and run the ball effectively. Texas just looks like the best team in the country. It's why they're ranked there. And if Texas does go down here, man, this season will get a whole lot more interesting. And if it was a home game for Georgia, I would feel a lot more confident about this one. But this being at home for the Longhorns just really gives Georgia a disadvantage here. And they don't even have the situational advantage either because Texas, they went out and destroyed Oklahoma last week, so it wasn't the close game that Georgia fans probably would have hoped for. Whoever wins this game will look like the front runner to win it all. And even though I do think Georgia will lose this game, and lose their playoff chances in the process. I am excited for this game because it will be a good way of managing my expectations. It'll define the expectations I have for this Georgia team. I don't really know what Georgia is in the moment or what I should expect from them, but this game is going to be able to tell me what I need to expect if we lose. I can expect to probably not be a championship contender. If we win, then I'm all in on them getting another championship, but Texas is no joke. And in the past, this would be a game that Texas would lose. If they are back, like I think they are, though, this will not be my favorite night. So, yeah, that's all the games I'm going to break down in this video. If you want to see the rest of my predictions for the big games of this week, go ahead and check out my socials. That's A_Rock321 on X and Threads. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great night or day whenever you're watching this. And, yeah, peace.